You know what's funny? Every August, I find myself wandering the aisles of back to school supplies, even though I haven't been in school in decades. And it's not just nostalgia. It turns out some of my best sewing supplies are hiding right in those aisles amongst the backpacks and the lunch boxes. Hi, I'm Amy and I make things. And today I'm making the argument that back to school shopping is actually Christmas morning for quilters, if you know what to look for. Come on, let's talk about it. Think about it. We're constantly marking patterns, making notes on projects, sketching out ideas, or writing in our project journals, and having pens that actually work well, don't smudge, which is especially useful for lefties like me, and don't bleed through the paper, while still being comfortable to use. It matters more than you might think. And right now, all the good stuff is on sale. I just found these Uniball Zinto pens that are apparently all the rage right now. The ink is really, really nice. And it's a nice bold line. If you like a finer line, I also love this Uniball P pen. I'll put the, everything I talk about, I'll link below. But this is the one I use in my planner, which I'll talk about in a little bit, because it's finer. And look, guys, it's chunky and cute. But it doesn't bleed through the paper. I have very thin paper in my planner, and this does not bleed through. And I don't drag it across the page with my hand as I write. I do also love the Energel pens with the needle tips because they're fine and precise, and you can get in tiny spaces with it. And you can get them in fun colors. Now, I know some of you swear by friction pens. This time of year, I noticed every color of the rainbow and every format of friction pens. Who knew there was so many options? And you know, I did a whole video about why friction pens are not like my jam. You can watch that here. But if they are your jam, now is the time to find them. For pencils, I love the Ticonderoga #2 pencil, yellow, black, multicolors, whatever. Great pencil, stays sharp, doesn't break. You know, I have this Mitsubishi, this Japanese pencil sharpener, which technically it's Casey's, but it lives in here, so, you know, I'm just saying. But I love this combination, and I love a wooden pencil. I like it as it gets smaller and smaller and you use it up. I don't know. It's just, maybe that is nostalgia, but I like that about it. And if wooden pencils are not your game, mechanical pencils and pencil leads are all on sale right now, and they're easy to find, so you can find your favorite. Now, y'all know I have a problem with the Elmer school glue. Namely, that I can't seem to stop buying it. But the Elmer's washable school glue in stick form or liquid form is so useful in the sewing room. You know, it's not a glue or an adhesive at all. It is a food grade starch, and so it will hold your basting in place. It will work for your English paper piecing. It will wash out completely. Super easy to use, super useful, easy to clean up. Can't get enough. It's the Elmer's washable school glue. The school glue specifically. And right now, they're practically giving it away. I used to stock up every year because it's so useful, and during back to school sales, it's really cheap, and now I'm not allowed to buy it. I mean, seriously, I have enough. But when it's 25 cents, it's really hard to resist. I'll be strong. I can do it. I'll be strong. Next, let's talk about planners. Are you planner people? Are you a planner person? I love a planner. It makes me feel so professional and so like together, even though, let's face it, y'all, I'm about as together as the jigsaw puzzle still in the box most days. But I use two planners. I use my plans planner from Just Scribble. It's a vertical style planner with dailies. Anyway, her pre-orders are going up August 15th. If you are a planner person, and this one is like laid out for my brain. It's perfection. I love it. And I do use it. And it does help. I also have, I know, I have 2 planners, guys, which seems excessive. In the planner community, I assure you that having just 2 is minimal. But I also use a traveler's notebook for planning my YouTube content and ideas. And it's infinitely adjustable. So you can put whatever inserts in there you like. If you know about the traveler's notebook. I was unconvinced for a long time, but it's really working out. If you just want to track quilting things, if you want to track your projects or things like that, or appointments, consider an academic planner, which are easily available at all of your back to school sales. And I say consider an academic planner because academic planners tend to be simplified and they have a larger section to write out details of projects and things like that, which is great when you're tracking multiple projects, maybe gift deadlines or that new baby that's coming, or, that great retreat that you've got planned. And Post-its. Guys, let's not forget about Post-its. They come in every shape, every size, every color, and I want them all. I use them for everything. I flag pages, I make notes, I use them for everything, and I want them all. I do. I want every color, every size, every shape. It's one of those things that, like the glue, is on my disallowed list because I have enough. Because I have enough. But if you need Post-its, now's the time. Another thing, graph paper. Graph paper is one of those things that's everywhere right now. I don't know why students still need graph paper, but it's out there. But if you're sketching out blocks or designing like pieced blocks or quilt layouts, graph paper can be infinitely useful if you are a pen and paper kind of person. Pen and paper kind of person. Alliteration almost always annoys. But if you do, like I do, like to draw on graph paper, I like this one that is reinforced down the edge. And then you can put it in a notebook later. Or they also have versions that are 4 squares to the inch on one side and 5 squares to the inch on the other if you want to play with scale or work with a more detailed project, or if you just like to write really tiny. But anyway, if you are a graph paper, pen and ink, pencil and paper kind of person, it's out there right now. Now's the time to find it. Now, can I talk about composition books? I mean, yep, the cheapy cheap spiral notebooks. This one has the little micro perforations down the side. This one doesn't. It's just the tear out with the raggedy edge, bits on the edge. But this might be my best tip yet. Because sometimes you buy a beautiful sketchbook or journal and then you don't write in it because you're completely afraid that you're going to mess it up. These solve that problem completely. They cost less than $1 right now. And I can brainstorm, I can make mistakes, I can sketch, I can play, I can make notes or ideas without any fear of messing it up, right? And I can always transfer the good stuff, the good ideas, to something more permanent later. It's just nice to have a place where I can think on paper without worrying about ruining the good sketchbook or the good journal. And if you're super industrious, you can make a cute cover for yours. I like pairing both the graph paper and the composition book with a cute, colorful ruler for sketching out blocks or layouts. Nothing fancy, just functional tools that help me think through design. Now, let's talk about paper scissors for a moment. All right, we all know what happens when someone uses your fabric shears on paper. It's not pretty. It is not pretty. Having dedicated paper scissors around saves relationships and keeps your good scissors sharp. So while they're on sale, while they're abundant, grab a few pair and maybe save a life. Trust me on this one. Spending a few dollars on some dedicated paper scissors can really, really help you out. The organizational stuff can be really creative. If you have a metal desk, like I have one of the Husky desks that you're sitting on right now, and it's metal on the side, or you have the little carts like this one, the magnetic locker storage options are just phenomenal, right? They have all this variety, and you can stick it on the side of your cart and organize until your heart's content. And oh, pencil boxes. Pencil boxes are for more than just pencils, and man, they've got some cute ones right now. Look at this soap bubble style pencil box, and it zips all the way around. All right, that's perfect for your English paper piecing. Not mine, I don't do that anymore, but for your English paper piecing or for sewing on the go projects, small things, because you can tuck all your things in there, zip it all the way around, and it's cute to boot. One last thing, if you're able, while you're shopping for your sewing tools in the back to school section, if you're able, please consider picking up some extra supplies for teachers and families that need them. Back to school time can be really, really expensive, and teachers especially end up spending their own money on classroom supplies. It's a small thing, but it can make such a big difference. So that's my take on back to school shopping for quilters. The prices are great. The choices are vast, and a lot of these things are genuinely useful in your sewing room and in your quilting life. Like I said, I will link everything that I can down below, or check out your local back to school section. I want to know, what school supplies do you use in your quilting space? Drop me a comment and let all of us know. And if you found this useful or helpful, please smash the like and subscribe buttons right now. It really helps me out, and it helps grow our community. Don't forget to check out your local back to school sales, and never, ever forget that you make the world more beautiful just by being in it. I'm Amy, and I'll see you next time.